apparently you can't build projects no more. Like apparently, I guess it's illegal to build projects. I'm gonna be honest with you. I got oh. I've never heard of that a day in my life, bro. You can't build projects, but let's check it out.
The most controversial stair that's in the United States right now.
Always the
It would be
stairs?
completely illegal to build today, but many jurisdictions are looking to change that.
Nigga, I
And
thought
they
he said it was
believe
the
bringing it back will
projects.
unlock a wave of construction, specifically the kinds of buildings that will ease the housing crisis. And those opposed believe its legalization is one step closer to bringing back tenements, dense fire traps that leave entire neighborhoods vulnerable to danger and exploitation. So what makes this stair so powerful that it can change neighborhoods? And how has it become so politically charged that the governor of Illinois would stop by to discuss why the state wants to protect it from any laws or codes that might ban it?
Sometimes there are regulations that are put in that have good purpose behind them,
Right.
but practically speaking, they really prevent any real development.
This is the stair of a point access block. And this is what those stairs look like, a stairwell with the apartment doors right off the landings.
Yeah.
The block refers to the building shape, and the point access describes the single primary entry point of the building.
Right.
This entry connects directly to a stair, likely an elevator if it was built more recently.
Wait.
Those-
So like buildings like this, right? You go in here. Do you have like this whole floor? Or is it just like you have this and maybe somebody else might be right here and somebody else right here?
Form a core that extend upward, connecting directly to units or apartments on each floor. And these days, this arrangement is only legal if the building is 3 stories tall or below. Above that, and a set of codes kick in that demand a different setup. That rule came about in 1946 when a
Hotel?
fire on the 3rd floor of a hotel filled the building's entire stair with smoke, thwarting any attempts to escape from the 12 remaining stories above. If that stairway was enclosed with fire-resistant materials, the smoke would never have been able to get in. And if there were 2 stairs instead of 1, the other could have picked up the slack if it did. So this
What you
became
mean?
a rule. 2 enclosed stairways for any residential structure above 3 stories. But the
Okay.
point access block, it's not unique just because it has
Hey,
one
chat, are y'all just as lost as I am, bro? Like, I started this video off thinking I knew something, and I was already lost in. Now it's like, nigga, I feel like I'm more lost.
less stair than the required design. It's more about what happens elsewhere when that second stair is removed. Without it, you eliminate the need for a hallway. The pathway for connecting the usual 2 stairs naturally forms a lineup of units, each one arranged as a narrow strip that stretches between the hallway and the building facade where the units can
Nigga,
reach
it's
out.
no way these are real units. It's no way these are real units. Nigga, maybe New York, but like...
For light and air. By contrast, units in a PAB likely have 2 sides with windows. Not only is this good for daylight and airflow, it makes having 3 or 4 bedroom apartments a lot easier too.
How
Since
do you
each
get
bedroom
into unit?
itself
Oh, never
leaves a
mind. I
window
see. Maybe you do
access,
right
2
there.
sides with windows makes arranging them simple and efficient. While all these benefits are nice, they don't necessarily point to why this stair is so important that it can impact an entire neighborhood. For that, let's compare the development of a neighborhood where PABs were prohibited and one where it
Okay.
wasn't. This is Lincoln Park. This neighborhood was annexed to the city of Chicago around 1900 when streetcars connected it with the loop to the south. 90% of its original working class households lived in buildings that were more than one family.
Right.
So only 10% lived in single family homes.
Right?
That 90% lived in a variety of buildings. from
Lincoln
2
Park.
to 3
Ain't that O Block? Lincoln Park? Or am I thinking of something else? Lincoln, I feel like I heard of Lincoln Park before. But Chicago Lincoln Park. What is that?
flats to larger walk-ups and the popular courtyard style building. All of these relied on a single stair arrangement to work. Even the courtyard building are just a few PABs stuck together with entrances that face inward. But by 1946, when that new code was adopted, these structures were 40 years old and they were completely falling apart. So as investors began looking for opportunities to redevelop the area, there was a problem. The added expense of the second stair, combined with the hallway arrangement it required and everything else, meant that the only way to make finances work for the new buildings was to add more units.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
the
that would make
developments
sense, bro.
that
You have more
snuck
people.
in around this time, they look like this. Towers. If newly constructed units were going to be affordable at all, large developments like this became the only way forward. And some building types, like the courtyard arrangement, they're not even possible at all. So instead of building new here, developers and residents focus almost exclusively on renovating the buildings that were already there. And in some ways, that's great. It meant saving many of the historical structures. But these buildings, they already had people living in them, and they had to be removed before any renovation could happen. Also, any smaller, affordable units in these buildings were more profitable when combined to form larger.
All right, so when they doing this though, like how do they do this? Like I'm gonna be honest, I feel like they probably just kicked the nigga out. I feel like the best thing, it's like damn though, it's like damn if you a tenant though, like right, and say I own that shit, I'm trying to upgrade all these bitches, but you don't want to pay the rent. It's like it's like what do you do? Like nigga, I understand you, I feel you, mud, you not wrong, but at the same time, it's like nigga, I gotta eat. Nigga, everybody else shit getting upgraded, and I can't upgrade all my shits because your ass don't want to pay the upcharge?
What the fuck is this?
So it's like...
more luxurious units. The result? Lots of older, small buildings with large units. So that's an example where PABs were banned. But if we shift over to the Capitol Hill neighborhood of Seattle, they took a different path. Even though at first they started out in very similar ways. They too developed around 1900 with mostly multifamily housing.
Damn.
Then the same kind of restrictions actually took effect in 1946 as they did in Lincoln Park. And the large developments started creeping in
That's an
along the
apartment.
edges
That's
of the
a
neighborhood.
fire-ass
However,
apartment,
in the
man.
1970s...
That's like, they got some shit like that in downtown. They got some shit like this downtown, bro. I would live in something like this. That shit fire. Well, I don't know how the inside would look, though.
started creeping in along the edges of the neighborhood.
That's kind of fire, though.
However, in the 1970s, city officials did something unique in the wake of a national housing crisis. They observed that individual lots and small clusters were still sitting empty, despite the overwhelming need for more housing. So they amended their building code, section 1006.3.3, which allows PAB residential buildings up to 6 stories instead of 3. This gave developers the opportunity to work with smaller parcels, while at the same time developing in a way that's consistent with the existing fabric. This eased the pressure on the smaller buildings, so not all of them would be turned into luxury houses. Affordable units could exist in either a new or an old building here, contributing to maintaining a wide range of units within a wide range of building sizes.
Damn.
Today, both of these neighborhoods are really expensive to live in. I mean, they're both just nice places to be. But the critical difference is that Capitol Hill, as a single neighborhood, has a mixture of buildings, mixture of people, and incomes within it, while Lincoln
Damn.
Park does not. Capitol Hill also has a demographic makeup that reflects the rest of the city.
Okay, that's what I heard about
Lincoln
Lincoln
Park?
Park. Lincoln Park, the nice shit.
Does not. That's because Lincoln Park displaced those that used to live here during the renovation process. And they never replaced the kinds of housing here that those people could afford. Instead, they moved to other areas of the city where the new, larger, affordable buildings were designated to go, and the city grew unevenly, and this causes enormous problems that we're all pretty familiar with today. Now I know, all of this is not caused just by this stair exactly, but this stair is at the center of heated debates that are going on right now for how it contributes to
that's
these
crazy,
large-scale
bro.
housing and neighborhood issues.
But it's
Many
like, it's
believe
not
that
their
the rule
fault,
that makes
though, because
this
it's
stair
like,
illegal.
bro, you gotta look at it as like a business. Like, they be like, niggas be wanting to upgrade, bro, and it's just like, it sucks. But it's just like this, right? If LeBron James can't keep up with SGA, nigga, you not gonna want to watch. Nah, I ain't gonna say that. If KD can't keep up with his teammates, you not gonna want to watch that nigga no more. You gonna go to that nigga to retire. So what he gotta do? Stay in shape. He gotta do the new workouts that these niggas is doing. That's the price you pay to be in the game, nigga.
Should be overturned. Bringing it back, though, means going against the recommendation of the predominant building code that's used across the United States, the International Building Code, or IBC. But how
Dang,
could politicians
they got
or
one for
housing
international?
advocates claim to know more about building safety than the code? Well, it turns out that the code is not quite as smart as we might want it to be.
Each of the things that we proposed has a lot of study behind, is there any safety diminishment that occurs as a result of perhaps making it a little bit easier?
Right.
And the answer with regard to the stairs particularly is, turns out there was an overabundance of caution about stairs. But the reality is that the fire safety professionals, the people who live and breathe that industry, people who really understand the challenges of
Get to the point,
fighting
nigga.
fires,
Damn.
getting people out safely, and so on, have determined actually We don't need this heavy regulation.
Since that
Right?
1946 hotel fire, there have been all kinds of innovation in the construction industry. For instance, sprinklers. Before that hotel fire spurred the 2-stair requirement, sprinklers weren't common in residential buildings. And studies show that they
Nigga,
reduced the risk
that's
of
why
death
they had the
by 80 to
fire.
90%. Despite that, the code hasn't relaxed in proportion with the effectiveness of new technology. That hardly ever happens. It just seems irresponsible to reverse rules that keep people more safe. So the code ends up getting more and more restrictive over time, tightening, like a ratchet, the kinds of buildings that are possible to construct.
All
So
right.
places that need more housing, they're not trying to convince the International Code Council to relax their standards. Instead, they're trying to write legislation that slices right through the aspects they believe isn't working for them anymore. In the Capitol Hill neighborhood, that was the city of Seattle's government that enacted
Yeah.
legislation that allowed the neighborhood to grow evenly. But
Actually,
today,
kinda
cities
crazy,
don't
bro.
necessarily have the infrastructure that will help solve these issues themselves.
I think if you talk to most mayors and city councils, they would say, we'd love to have more housing. But then they trip over themselves because of the regulations that they've got in place that no one's willing to do anything about because they're buried under 7 other regulations. And it's like, we've always done it this way. We'll just always keep doing it this way.
And that's why the issue is often taken up at the state level.
Damn, I feel
19
you.
states across the United States have introduced or passed building code reforms legalizing single-stair apartment buildings. Here in Illinois, we have one too. It's Bill SB 4061.
Masking in Adobe Premiere.
Wait,
has never
single?
been
I'm not.
easier.
Yeah, I
All
mean,
you
we
have to
got
do is select
those.
the object
Nigga,
mask.
everybody
To
got them
select the
shits. Nigga, that's
While the
Section
stair
8.
helps explain the issues in places like Lincoln Park, it's just one neighborhood in a city of 77 neighborhoods in a state with hundreds of municipalities. And most of them, they need housing too, not necessarily the point access block kind. It turns out that there are a number of rules on the books that work just like the stair. It includes things like zoning laws that restrict every lot to having one house, or requirements
Damn.
that every unit in a development have
That
2
shit-
parking
that shit's
spaces,
so
or
fucked up,
complicated
bro.
permitting processes.
Getting a permit can differ from, it might take you 3 years in one place, and it might take you a week in another.
All of these rules are implemented by cities. And they're the levers that cities use to control how their neighborhoods develop. In that sense, the stair is pretty unique. Building code is rarely such a charged topic, but it's also the
It
perfect
just
place
be
to
like, bro, the
observe how
more and more you think about it, it's like, nigga, we really, like, realistically, as people, we don't have shit, bro. Like, we don't have shit, bro. Like, this makes you realize, like, nigga, you need a permit to build on your own property. Like, nigga, what's the point of owning, nigga? You feel me?
a system that's developed for one thing, in this case safety, has unpredictable consequences in other unexpected areas.
So the stair is a good example of one of those, limitations that is unnecessary, or that, if we just put a few rules around it to limit its effect, you could have more homes available.
When a city makes small apartment buildings illegal or financially impossible, development doesn't just stop. It just narrows the options. It turns old buildings into luxuries and pushes affordable, even middle-income housing into large projects. Family-sized apartments, they become harder to find, and mixed neighborhoods turn into places that look preserved but don't fully function below the skin. So that's why this tiny piece of building code has become so politically charged. It confronts cities with the fact that the rules that are meant to protect neighborhoods
I should be looking
aren't really
fire,
protecting them
bro.
anymore. Or at
Like-
least they're not protecting them from what they originally intended them to. The stair
The older look houses remind me of like San Francisco, bro.
took 80 years to reveal what it would do to our neighborhood.
Like shits like
We
this.
don't have to wait that long to see the pattern play out.
It remind
again.
me like New
It's
York
unfolding
and San
right now
Francisco.
with AI data centers whose rules are being written as we speak. I have some thoughts about that, and I asked AI data center.
You know what's crazy, bro? I was just about to make a joke about the water. Look at that. That shit probably full of water, nigga. It's so crazy, like, nigga, like. Why the fuck does AI need water, bro? I know, like, realistically, why does AI need water, bro? Hold on. No, I gotta look that up, bro. Cause somebody told me that AI uses water. Why does AI use water? Shit, listen to it. AI uses water because of the massive data centers powering its generator, intensive heat. Water is used to cool down the high computer servers.
Whose
That shit
rules are
so-
being written as
that
we
shit is
speak.
so
I have some
dumb,
thoughts
bro.
about that, and I outlined it in a video that's currently only available on Nebula, the streaming platform that's built and owned by its
Why does this
creators.
don't use the
It's also where
ocean?
you'll find an extended interview of Governor Pritzker, who shared a lot more insight into housing and state government than we could fit into this video. Nebula is where 200 like-minded creators pool our resources to build our ideal viewing experience for you. I data sent bikes navigation to start that using my link. Everything for the
He
rest
got me,
every
bro.
engagement of the regular 50 cents
Oh, you
per
put it at
month
the
when you
end?
sign up for a year of Nebula using my link. That's 50% off of the regular price. And if you really love it, you
Hey, you know what? You know what, JB? You a smart guy, bro. Normally, I be trying to get rid of these ads. You put your ad at the end of the video. That's smart, bro. I can't even be mad at that one, bro. All right, W video, bro. W educational video.